We left our Jameli in Manali on the banks of Bias and started the climb to Rohtang, the notorious pass of dead bodies and bones. Our progress was blocked a number of times by smart sheep and stupid men driving the cars. Some men had chosen other means to reach Rohtang. After a frustrating drive of 3.5 hours, we reached Rohtang. By the time we reached Tindi on the river Bhaga, the moon has risen. We left Kelang for Darja. From Darja, a trail goes over Singola to Padam in Zanskar Valley. From Darja, the road climbs up to Jingzing Bagh. From Jingzing Bagh, one climbs steadily to Suraj Tal and Baralacha. From Baralacha, the road gently descends to Bharatpur. The river Sarchu cuts interesting soil erosion patterns. One crosses Sarchu to enter into Jammu and Kashmir. From Sarchu, one heads towards the base of Gata loops. Through the loops, one gains a height of 2000 feet. There are 21 loops at Gata. They kind of fold one over the other. By late evening, we reached Pang. From Pang, one climbs to Moreh Plains. From here, one can travel to Leh over the Tanglangla Pass or to Chokar, So Morari and Pangong lakes. Lakes in Ladakh are orogenic, that is, formed by folded earth crust and subsequent sinking of the land mass. Most of the lakes show eutrophication of various levels, that is, they don't support aquatic life. The dissolved salts are high. From Chokar, one travels to Sumdo village. It is at the junction of roads to Cho Morari and Mahe Bridge over Indus. Tso Moriri is located in Chanthang Plateau and is surrounded by the elevated valley of Brubsho. The water is alkaline. On the shores, there is a new Gompa. There is a garrison at Karzak. A stream feeding the lake supports the agriculture and the village. Before Mahe, one passes through a narrow gorge. This was our first view of Indus or Sindhu. Numa is a major town in Chantang. It is in the news because of the sporadic Chinese activities in this area. One gets first view of Pangong from far off place. Nearby is the observation and flag meeting post. The Pangong Lake is 140 kilometers in length, 40 kilometers of which is in India. The 30-40 kilometers drive along the shores of Pangong to Spangmik homestay was a high point of the journey to Pangong. The changing moods of Pangong remain with you for a long time. We left Pangong for Changla, skirting Lukong. We crossed Tangse and Durbuk army base. It was snowing in Changla, and the hot cups of tea, courtesy the army post, were welcome. The Jhingral army post is in a valley. Shakti is a well spread out major village and looks pretty. The Chemre monastery looks impressive, but we were in a rush to go to Hemis. Hemis monastery is one of the important and old monasteries. Opposite to Dukhan or the prayer hall, there is a museum of fine collections of Hemis. From Hemis, one has to climb to a height of 3,900 meters to visit the 13th century Gotsang Gompa. Tikse Gompa is perched on a hill high above the Indus. The Gompa is renovated and maintained well. We left Leh a bit late for Khardungla. The logic was to approach the pass when the morning sun will melt down the overnight snowfall. From Leh, the road climbs up in long lazy loops to South Bulu, the base of Khardungla and the army traffic control post. The road climbs 2000 feet in few very long loops. The distance is 14 kilometers. The vehicle has to be in a proper condition to perform well at a height of 18,000 feet. From the pass, the road descends again in very long loops to North Bulu checkpoint. Khalsar is on the banks of river Syok. Ahead of Khalsar is a bridge over Syok leading into the Nubra Valley. One travels along Syok to Diskit, Hundar and on up to Turtuk. The Diskit Monastery is located in the shadow of Diskit Glacier, on the banks of river Syok, the river of death. There are two villages, Yul and Farol, separated by river Chuga. Jointly the villages are called Turtuk. We returned to Jangmar on our return journey. We crossed the heavily guarded bridge over Syok and entered Nubra Valley. Along the river Nubra, we travelled up to Sasoma, a drab spot, from where the trail to Sasarla starts. On our way to Sasoma, we crossed Treat, Sumur, Panamik. For a night halt, we returned to Sumur. Stay in Namgyal guest house at Sumur was comfortable. We left Sumur for Leh. After a quick visit to the War Museum at Leh, we proceeded to Alchi Monastery. The Zanskar River meets Indus. The water of the two rivers has distinct color. After Saspur, one crosses the Indus for Alchi Monastery. The Alchi Monastery is on a plain ground, like that of Tabo, unlike the usual pattern of building it on a hill. One travels along the Indus up to Khalsi and then turn for Lama Yoro. The road is through narrow gorges of Zanskar range. The variety in shades and structure of mountains of Ladakh is amazing. One cannot resist to photograph them. The monastery is in run-down state, but the school appear to be doing good. From Lama Yuru, the road climbs to Fotola, the highest point on the Leh-Srinagar road. Nami Kala is the next pass. Namika means pillar of sky. The rock pinnacle near the pass lives up its name. The Maitreya statue at Mulpek dates back to the 1st century BC. The style is completely Hindu. The straight hair of Buddha clearly indicates that the statue is from pre-Gandhar period. The commonly seen curly hair of Buddha is attributed to Gandhar period, which shows the signs of Greek influence. The Nunkun peaks in Zanskar range are seen from a ridge above Kargil. Kargil is on the banks of river Suru and is a major town. From Kargil, the road goes along the river Dras. As we crossed Dras, the sky became overcast. By the time we reached Zojila, it was raining heavily. By late evening, we arrived in Sonmarg. Next day, we left Sonmarg for Srinagar. We decided to explore the other side of Dun Lake. Navigating the back channels, you forget that you are in a city suffering from chronic unrest and civil tension. Our time of carefree travel was up. It was time to join the crowds to conduct the business of living.